And welcome to Studio B here at Fox 13 Unscripted live here at 7 o'clock on our streaming channel. We appreciate you guys and gals dialing us up. This is our chance to kind of go a little bit deeper than our normal scripts here. And we throw our scripts away and we chat. And my guest tonight is a gentleman I met. How are you? Good to see you.
Well, how you doing today?
Jovan McNeil. I'm doing great. We met on a boat. Last summer, we were tarpon fishing. Jovan McNeil has this incredible nonprofit called Cloud9 Outdoors, and let's start with the fishing though too, which was fun because we have a common friend, Captain Chris Wiggins, and so I know you fish a lot with him, but. I remember vividly when we were doing a story we were doing the tarpon story, and I remember the smile like I see you now. You generally have this genuine love, like I do, for being outside, being out on the water. I mean, that was our happy place, wasn't it?
Well, speaking of Chris Wiggins, I just left Wiggins not even 45 minutes ago.
Oh, you did? Okay, so we can blame him for
me not being yes.
I was gonna say you look like you should belong outdoors. I'm the one who looks like I'm overdressed.
Yes, sir.
But tell me about that. I mean, you guys, we hooked a monster tarpon that day.
We did. That was a nice battle with the tarpon. Learned a lot. We worked as a team together.
Yep.
And got the tarpon to the boat. We revived it, kept it going live, and got it released pretty well.
Yeah, it was great. That was the biggest one I'd ever seen by far. And you guys were masters. That was down there near Egmont. Let's back up a little bit because I remember you had your Cloud9 Outdoor shirt on, and I said, "What is this? What is this?" And so the more and more I learned, and I realized that this is not your full-time job, even though you put so much into it. And you're a firefighter by trade, right?
Yes, sir.
You know what you're doing? Okay, thank you for doing that. We appreciate your service. But this Cloud9 Outdoors, tell us about that and how this kind of got started. I know we've got a story, so we'll get some of the highlights in a little bit. But why is it important to you to get our youth outdoors?
As a young person in Tampa Bay, I grew up with a single-parent family most of my life. My mom had me at a young age, and our bonding time was really just being by the water fishing. So when I got older, I realized what it meant for me to be with my mom and just spend time fishing no matter what's going on. We made time to get together and just fish. And I wanted to start that with the other kids in the Bay Area. So I started out in 2015 as just a fishing little program for teenagers and kids who came from the similar backgrounds, inner city, single-parent family, might be troubled. You know, sometimes you get in trouble not having a father around or just getting in trouble as an inner city kid. And I wanted to have an outlet for them to kind of get off the streets, out of trouble, have a source to go do with the family, learn something as a family, and then bond together.
Remember when I came down and I saw you guys at the lake where we were fishing? We took them fishing down by Lakewood High School. What was the name of the lake again? I forgot.
We do so many parks in St. Petersburg. I'm going to say St.
I forgot it too, yeah.
But it was one in St. Pete.
It was such a trip, and to see so many of these kids, and most of them had never been fishing before, right?
No, sir. It's their first time. A lot of them first time. Teach them how to tie a knot, how to hook a bait, how to reel in the fish, and even hold the fish.
Yeah.
That's pretty exciting.
And all the fun started with a live worm. That was a riot. Let's watch a story if you can. This is Jovan with inspiration from Mom, who you will meet in this story, and Cloud9 Outdoors. Here's what they're all about. On a warm summer morning at Lake Vista in South St. Pete,
Enough, sir.
Jovan McNeil is casting much more than just worms. But the focus and patience this requires
Scared of the worm? No.
has a pretty quick payoff,
Fish on.
with Jovan showing them the way.
Fish on.
For each of these youngsters, this is their first time fishing. The only electronics out are his, capturing their first catches and drops.
So it's huge to have that, where it's just them in the moment in nature, experience something for the first time.
Jovan started the nonprofit Cloud9 Outdoors in 2015, where mentorship and education, he says, meet the outdoors.
And be on Cloud 9.
This is important to our young people to be able to see that there's right here in their backyard opportunity to learn how to fish, to connect to new mentors.
The Pinellas County Urban League has now partnered with him. These are all members of the Urban League's New Lights program, exposing youngsters to workforce opportunities, entrepreneurship, and what they call dedicated mentoring.
So that our youth can really take that level of connection and then throughout their lives have that as a relationship that they can always nurture and learn from.
Keeps you out of trouble.
Deshaun Herrera was Jovan's first youngster he took fishing. 9 years later, here he is. He's come full circle, the mentee, now a mentor himself.
So I've been in this program for a while. So now I just come back and help and volunteer. So it's kind of good to help other kids fish and learn.
He's also caught the attention of valuable sponsors.
He's giving away 100 fishing poles to children, and Javon jumped on. He's like, I have a nonprofit that's doing this. So we got to link up together, and it's been about 5 years, and we've helped a lot of people since then.
So real. There you go.
All because Jovan's mom, his #1 volunteer, took Jovan fishing as young as they can remember.
I don't know. How old were you? About
3, 5.
Yeah, we went, bought fishing poles. It was gentlemen around fishing. I asked them to show me, as far as how to do the hooks, and we've been fishing ever since. All right, look up at
Making
the
memories on every trip,
Okay, now when you do that,
no matter what they caught or who caught the bigger one.
oh, I carry him all the time, even now.
Okay.
Sharing the joy of being hooked on the outdoors as much as they enjoy being hooked together.
All day. Right here.
Not gonna live that one down, huh?
That's such a great story.
Well, you guys, it was easy to tell because I thought that magic and the bond between you and Mom was really special. She's a riot.
Yeah, it's the hardest part about what I do is like being in that moment. You do not realize what you're doing in the moment until I see stories like what you put out there.
Yeah.
I'm so caught up in the moment with these youth and having them just be there and be in the moment, teaching them and mentoring them, and seeing that joy and excitement with these faces that I don't see the impact right away. And seeing that brings back so much like emotions because it's there. It's like it's working and it's, yeah.
You're really affecting lives. I mean, and that I think is what is really special. I mean, let's face it, there's a lot of programs that can take kids fishing. But I thought it was really interesting how you were very quick to say, we're not just fishing, we're not just kayaking. We have some pictures of some other great outdoor stuff that you guys do too. But that mentorship and the follow-up and those long-term relationships to really expose a lot of these youngsters to some good role models. That seems to be the secret ingredient here.
Yeah, we try not to be just a seasonal program, try to be year-round, and we do pride ourselves on the kids who graduate from 8th grade to out of high school and to give them a resource to have a scholarship for either a trade school program where we sponsor it fully for them or give them some funding for college. Seeing those numbers where it's like we graduated 7 seniors and now 5 of those seniors have graduated college or a trade school, and we have 2 more in school now. We did our numbers for 9 years. I think we're like at 1,159 youth and 123 adults that we have put through our program in 9 years. Just through training, through fishing, kayaking, archery, so many lives are impacted that we, again, I don't realize it till the numbers come out, until the end of the year, and then I'm telling stories about it. It seems still surreal to me. Like, I'm an inner city kid from Tampa. I'm not a celebrity. I'm not an athlete, but I can impact this many people. It really does mean a lot to me.
Well, you're a celebrity in their eyes and in ours too, because we appreciate what you do. And I know everybody says it'd be worth it if you had a positive impact on one student, on one child. But here you are to see you've got 1,000 of them. And hopefully one day, many of them, I'm sure, will come back to volunteer, right? That's the key.
Yes, so we have about 5 that still volunteer. I come back and volunteer now. It's just an amazing feeling. I had one this weekend at the tournament we hosted. Him and his mom came out and helped us a lot this weekend.
That's great. We're going to talk about the fishing tournament. We got some great pictures, some big sheep's head right now. That was a lot of fun. We're going to talk about that. We're going to talk about how you guys can help too if you'd be interested in helping out Cloud9 Outdoors with our guest Jovan McNeil here on Fox 13 Unscripted. Don't move. We'll be right back. And welcome back to Fox 13 Unscripted here in Studio B with my special guest. Now, 2 special guests. We have Jovan McNeil from Cloud9 Outdoors, and Mateo has joined us. How are you, Mateo?
Good.
Good. All right. I heard you guys had a good day fishing, huh?
Mm-hmm.
What did you catch today? You guys went out?
Mm-hmm.
What'd you catch?
We brought a sheephead home.
You got sheep's head? How big was it?
20 inches. 20 inches.
20 inches? That's a big one. You guys do the father-son
So we do
Thursdays? Tell me what you do.
We do Father Son Tuesdays.
Okay.
So I'm on a fire shift. We miss those days. This Tuesday he wanted to go fishing, and our fishing trip got moved to Thursday.
Okay.
So I'll change it to Thursday, and he was out there fishing today. Called a 20-inch sheephead, called a red snapper.
Nice.
I mean, yes, a red snapper, redfish too. Yeah.
Yeah. Mateo, you love fishing with your dad?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's pretty neat. What is it like out there when you get that hook and that pole just starts going crazy and it just about pulls you in the water? How exciting is that? Is it amazing?
Yeah. Say yes, sir.
Want to catch a bigger one? He's adorable. And you get him out a lot too, obviously, now, right?
We do. We try to get out. He loves archery. He wants to go out with me in the woods so much. The Father-Son Tuesday is big because it gives me time with him. Everything I do with the firefighting and Cloud9 Outdoors, it gives him time with me on Tuesdays. I'm not working, and he loves Father-Son Tuesday. He looks forward to it.
I bet. I would too. We've got some video of some more of your events as well. You mentioned archery. You guys do kayaking. Yes, you guys do all sorts of stuff. Why is it so important to be so well-rounded? You could have easily just done fishing, but you take them all. This is from your sheep's head tournament recently.
Yes, sir.
That's amazing. And that obviously went well, right?
That's
really not a sheep's head, we do know, but yeah, you catch snook too.
Yes, sir. It's important to me to get out, give them as many avenues as possible so that they can, they can just learn. Like, fishing is nice to have, but you have so many things in Tampa Bay. You have camping, like at Boyd Hill. You have hiking. You have the kayaking around Fort DeSoto and around Whedon. So there's so many things you can do and teach them about ecosystems. And there's lessons in everything we do. So we use the outdoors. Like, our motto is, we're a mentorship and education meets the outdoors. So it was a big thing to get the kids outside and away from technology, away from all the environments they're in, show them a different part of where we live at, a different part of Florida, and different resources they can use to relax or to get away.
Yeah, and obviously you get good reactions. I mean, these smiles are priceless.
Oh, man. Yes, sir.
And that archery is not easy.
No.
That is not easy. Where do you find a lot of these kids?
We have
men and women, I
reputation.
should say.
We have the schools a lot now. A lot of teachers reach out to us. A lot of parents come to events. We do open house beginning of the year.
Okay.
We have extra spots, and then we reach out to organizations that just might need extra event to do something with.
Yeah. So if somebody's watching, say, boy, I'd love to get my son or my daughter in one of your programs, just cloud9outdoors.org.
Yes, sir.
Cloud9outdoors.org. And hunting trips as well?
We call them harvesting trips.
Harvesting, right?
Because the hunting has kind of a bad aspect behind it. Sure. We do harvest the meat. So what we do is take the kids out to a hog hunting location, and we would hunt a hog, harvest it, and then give the family the meat. So we take it to a processing plant in Riverview. They process the meat for us, and the families get to eat the meat for it's like about 40, 50 pounds of meat for free to the families.
That's amazing. That's great.
Yes,
and you guys are doing a lot of events. It seems like almost every month you guys are doing something. What's coming up next?
I think so. Actually, we're doing something new this year. It's not outdoors. We're doing a flower bouquet class for young men because a lot of kids have single moms and everything. And I think teaching a young man how to be a little soft sometimes and make a flower bouquet and give it to your mother or your special lady can go a very long way. So we're actually doing a Valentine's Day bouquet class for the young men.
That is so cool. Now, was that Mom's idea or was that yours?
That's actually was mine, actually.
I'm so impressed. I'm so impressed. It is such a great idea, though, because that's just something that probably a lot of youngsters might never get exposed to.
So, but after that, we have camping and we have kayaking coming up in March also.
Okay. Where are some of the places you guys like? I mean, I think one of the reasons we connected, of course, our love for the water and being outdoors. But for those who aren't outdoors that often, we're in one of the best places in the world for just about anything year round. So I can only imagine, especially some of these kayak tours. I know I've done a few up on some of our freshwater rivers, which are amazing as well.
Sir.
And I happen to live near Whedon Island. People come from all over the planet to come and kayak and canoe in Whedon Island. Where are some of the places you guys go?
We do Whedon Island. We have done War Memorial Park.
Yeah.
We haven't done the freshwater lakes yet. We just do more of the saltwater right now.
Okay.
Trying to get to the freshwaters as soon as possible. But just with the numbers we do, it's easy to do that. And we also go by St. Pete Pier. There's a beach next to the volleyball courts where the kids can actually do some dip netting there, catch little shrimp, catch little crabs and everything, see them inside the water, learn about the seagrass. We paddle out by the pier and just have a good time there.
Yeah, that's amazing. Somebody's watching himself on TV. Especially this time of year, it's great because our water quality is about the best it has been in a while.
Yes, sir.
We know it's been a while with the hurricanes. Tell me some more about your fishing tournaments now, because you guys have all kinds. We saw plenty of snook in there. You guys do mostly inshore. You ever do offshores?
We don't do offshore. We're a small organization. We can't really manage as much.
Right.
We do a big sheephead one annually every year. It's kind of our big fundraiser. So that's a big fundraiser for us. We used to do a slam tournament with the red, snook, and trout. But when the red tide happened and the fish population was a little low, we stopped doing that one.
Yeah.
Just to keep the population going with the fish.
Sure.
Not impacting too much.
But you guys were handing out some big checks with that sheepshead tournament.
We do. We have a goal of being one of the biggest sheephead tournaments in Tampa Bay.
That is amazing.
We give back to the anglers as much as possible, but we do raise a lot of money doing that way because they can give a good payout, and then anything extra goes to the nonprofit.
Yeah. And I know that a lot of that can't be done without your sponsors. I met Will. Will Flores has been with you for a long time.
Will Flores is an amazing sponsor of ours. St. Pete Fishing Outfitters is a great, great location for us to host our tournaments there.
Sure.
We have Power Pole. We have Tsunami, Rod and Reels. A lot of other organizations, too, that I just can't mention all of them. But we have some private donors that come through to help out big time with us also. And the good thing about it is all the money goes back to the kids. Like, we don't have any board members get paid at all. We don't take any money for ourselves. It all goes back to the organization.
That's great. Cloud9outdoors.org.
.org.
If somebody's sitting there watching, thinking, "Geez, I want to contribute," because it looks like something they'd want to be a part of, and just to see some of the smiles on these youngsters' faces. And again, if you missed the top of our broadcast, so many of these kids, this is the first time they've gotten to do almost everything, right?
Yes, sir.
Outdoors, at least at this level.
Yes, sir. A lot of first timers, and it builds that. And what happens to you get to see where kids' interests are. Like, we had a kid who went harvesting with us, and he was telling every part about the animal on the inside. It's like, you're really good. Like, do you know anatomy? He's like, I have an interest in it. It's like, what about EMT school? He's like, never thought about it. But you know the whole anatomy. So you find out what these kids are interested in. You find out what their likes and dislikes are, and you can push them or guide them to another career for them that can be really great.
Yeah, that's where some of that mentorship can come in. All right, don't move. We have much more. Mateo, you want to hang around for one more break? Is that good?
You can go.
You can go. Mateo's going to bail. Dad, you stay. Mateo, you go ahead. You can go find your seat. Dad's going to stay. Jovan McNeil from Cloud9 Outdoors. Much more when we come right back here on Fox 13 Unscripted. Talking about outdoors, talking about mentoring, talking about growing up in our community and taking care and teaching our youngsters what's right. We'll be right back. And welcome back to Fox 13 Unscripted here in Studio B. We're talking about getting outside. We're talking with Jovan McNeil, who's the founder of Cloud9 Outdoors. And it's funny. I don't remember. I remember we talked about it in the interview, but I don't think for whatever reason. Unfortunately, so many of the things have to get cut when we put the story together. But tell me about. I forgot to ask you about it. I think it goes without saying. People can figure out the name, but tell me how you came up with the name Cloud9.
It was just a feeling, like the old saying, like, I'm on cloud 9, when you're like feeling that euphoria or the highest peak you can be at. So to me, I thought like being outside to me was like being on cloud 9. Nothing touches being on the water. Nothing touches being in the woods. Just being able to relax and enjoy that moment is like being on cloud 9 to me. So I used that as the name of the organization.
Yeah, no, I thought it was brilliant, and a lot of the kids. These days, so many are just locked into their phones, but I know this is one way to get them off of them, at least for a little bit, and it really seems to be working. I mean, you're really connecting with a lot of these kids, and I know you said you have relationships with a lot of the youngsters that you've had. Would you say over 1,000 students already come through your program?
1,139 or 59, I think it was.
But who's counting, right?
Well,
exactly. Well, it's incredible benchmark, and you still keep in touch with a lot of them, right?
I do. A lot of them, because usually we start with like 8th grade or 7th grade.
Yeah.
And they stick with us until they graduate. And then what I'm realizing is the ones that graduate and go to college are still sticking around, which is like, I'm not trying to get rid of these kids, but it's cool to know that our impact to the family and to them is they're still around. They're still here. They still stay in contact with us and come back and help out. So obviously something that's going on in this program that's really impacting these youth on that level where they want to come back and give back. And they're still around the mentor who's there, or the mentors they met. It's really cool.
That is amazing. It really is, and that's the support network that you dream of creating, right? I mean, because you're helping them with who knows? I mean, probably thousands of conversations and texts that you have with a lot of them, supporting them through into college and career making decisions as they're figuring out what they're going to do.
Yeah, it's a shocker. Like when I started this organization, like I said, it was about fishing. Who knew that 9 years later we'd be at this point in our lives where we're still going strong. We're trying to go on 10 years now. And it's like, when does it stop? It doesn't stop. And it keeps growing and growing. It's just amazing. And then it's the parents, too, who actually I got to salute the parents who have the kids in the program, who make the time to bring the kids out and be there with them and learn with them. Like, it's a whole village, they say, to raise a kid. It's a whole team, it's a whole group of people that really, really come out and do that for us. A Foundation of Caring. I love those guys.
Yeah, tell me about Foundation of Caring. They support you. It was a nice check.
Yes, sir. They support us twice, 2 years in a row. They are actually doctors in the Bay Area, in Tampa Bay, and they have a foundation, and that foundation gives out to organizations they want to see impact the youth in the community or other organizations, and they have been really supportive of what we've done.
That's really amazing. So you've got all kinds of activities and stuff coming up. Cloud9outdoors.org if you'd like to have one of your youngsters sign up or get parents get involved,
Yes,
or even a sponsor, right?
Yes, sir. It's all on the website. You can sponsor there. You can email me. My email's on there. You can even email info@cloud9outdoors.org. 9 is spelled out. And then on the website, there is all of our events. You can sign up for an event there, and it goes right to my email. Let me know you're interested in doing an event with the kids.
Okay. And you said you're coming up on 10 years. I mean, where do you see this in the next 10 years?
I don't know. People ask me to leave, do it bigger, spread out and do more, state of Florida. But I'm a Tampa kid. I feel like the kids here in Tampa Bay need this a lot more. We have a lot of deaths going on. We still have things we need to impact. There's still a lot of gun violence with our youth in the area, Tampa Bay, St. Pete, Tampa, Hillsborough County. So I think there's still a lot to be done, and I can't do it by myself. But the little impact I can make, I want to keep making an impact here before leaving and doing other areas of Florida.
Well, you're doing a great job. We certainly appreciate you. Cloud9outdoors.org. Check him out. Jovan McNeil, thanks much again.
Thank you for having me.
Yep. Thank you. Check him out if you can. Help him out. We will see you a little bit later on the TV. Thanks for watching.